Visit us on onestepenglish.com. Listening. Directions in listening section, you will hear monologues, dialogues, and academic talks.
Step gardens.
If you lived on the side of a mountain, how would you grow food to eat? Some people in South America called the Incas had just that problem hundreds of years ago. Before they could plant seeds, the Incas had to make some flat land. They dug into the side of the mountain and made flat places that looked like big steps. Each step was a small field or garden. They built low stone walls to keep the dirt in place. Then, they built smaller steps up the mountain. The Inca farmers climbed up and down these steps to get from one field to another. Finally, the Incas could plant their seeds. They grew corn, potatoes, and beans in their step gardens. This gave them enough food to feed all their people. Their step garden were made so well that many are still there today. Number 1. Which of these things happened last?
Letter A. The Incas made stone walls. Letter B. The Incas planted seeds. Letter C. The Incas made some flat land.
The correct answer is letter A. The Incas made stone walls.
Number 2. Which of these things happened before the stone walls were built?
Letter A. The Incas dug into the side of the mountains. Letter B. The Incas planted their seeds. Letter C. Potatoes, corn, and beans grew.
The correct answer is letter A. The Incas dug into the side of the mountains.
Number 3. Which of the following is a fact?
Letter A. The Incas were the best in the world at growing mountainside crops. Letter B. The Incas' step gardens were made so well that many are still there today. Letter C. The Incas' sacrifices guaranteed their crops grew well.
The correct answer is letter B. The Inca step gardens were made so well that many are still there today.
Reading.
In this section, you will be required to read 2 passages on varying topics. After each passage, you will answer questions to test your ability to understand vocabulary, writer's point of view, factual information and sentence structures.
Reading number 1. Are you falling in love? How can you tell? Source: www.psychologytoday.com.
Number 1. What is the main idea?
Letter A. There are guide questions to help assess your feelings. Letter B. Falling in love is temporary. Letter C. Heterosexual couples tend to say I love you first.
The correct answer is letter A. There are guide questions to help assess your feelings.
Number 2. The writer suggests that
Letter A. Falling in love is waste of time. Letter B. There are multiple loads of research that suggest that not all people fall in love. Letter C. There are many ways to check if you are falling for someone.
The correct answer is letter C. There are many ways to check if you are falling for someone.
Number 3. According to evidence, what might one feel when falling in love?
Letter A. Focused and driven to work every day. Letter B. Highly motivated to say the 3 magic words, I love you. Letter C. The dopamine-rich areas of the brain are triggered at the beginning stages of love.
The correct answer is letter C. The dopamine-rich areas of the brain are triggered at the beginning stages of love. Reading number 2. AstraZeneca's COVID-19 vaccine is tied to uncommon blood clots, in rare cases. Source: www.sciencenews.org.
Number 1. What is one huge benefit in taking AstraZeneca's COVID vaccine despite its link to blood clots?
Letter A. There is not enough vaccine available yet. Letter B. The blood clots are incredibly rare accordingly to Emma. Letter C. The benefits of AstraZeneca's COVID vaccine outweigh its risks.
The correct answer is letter C. The benefits of AstraZeneca's COVID vaccine outweigh its risks.
Number 2. How did the news about AstraZeneca's COVID vaccine and blood clots in the brains of some vaccinated people start?
Letter A. 18 of the people with CVST or SVT died. Letter B. There have been 18 case reports of blood clots in the sinuses that drain blood from the brain after AstraZeneca's COVID vaccination. Letter C. 4 people who died from blood clots after vaccination had platelet-binding antibodies in their blood.
The correct answer is letter B. There have been 18 case reports of blood clots in the sinuses that drain blood from the brain after AstraZeneca's COVID vaccination.
Number 3. What is one possible explanation on how the vaccine could have caused blood clots?
Letter A. Some people develop an immune response that attacks platelets, making them clump together. Letter B. The vaccine drains blood from the brain. Letter C. 25 million people who got the AstraZeneca vaccine were senior citizens.
The correct answer is letter A. Some people develop an immune response that attacks platelets, making them clump together.
You've reached the mid part of the video. Please don't forget to click like and subscribe.
Vocab. In this section, you will learn vocabulary words with its meanings and examples. In the test, there are 5 questions and you have 10 seconds to answer each question.
Motivate. A verb. Stimulate someone's interest in or enthusiasm for doing something.
Example. One of the business partners was highly motivated to expand the business for a huge profit.
Dopamine. A noun. A compound present in the body is a neurotransmitter and a precursor of other substances including epinephrine.
Example. The doctor prescribed dopamine to his patient for better management of her behavior.
Transition. A noun. Movement, passage, or change from one position, state, stage, subject, concept, etc.
Example. It's not easy to have a transition from communism to becoming a free country.
Devastating. An adjective. Highly destructive or damaging.
Example. The devastating effect of Typhoon Vanco struck millions of people from Manila in Vietnam.
Concluded. A verb. Arrived at a judgment or opinion by reasoning.
Example. The afternoon meeting concluded at 7 o'clock, so we had to order some takeout food. Quiz time.
Number 1. Dean wants to his teammates for the championship next week. A verb. Stimulate someone's interest in or enthusiasm for doing something.
Letter A. Motivate. Letter B. Concluded. Letter C. Dopamine. Letter D. Devastating. Letter E. Transition.
correct answer is letter A. Dean wants to motivate his teammates for the championship next week.
Number 2. Daisies. To her new work was pretty easy. A noun. Movement, passage, or change from one position, state, stage, subject, concept, etc.
Letter A. Motivate. Letter B. Concluded. Letter C. Dopamine. Letter D. Devastating. Letter E. Transition.
The correct answer is letter E. Daisy's transition to her new work was pretty easy.
Number 3. The speaker's talk was with a funny story. A verb. Arrived at a judgment or opinion by reasoning.
Letter A. Motivate. Letter B. Concluded. Letter C. Dopamine. Letter D. Devastating. Letter E. Transition.
The correct answer is letter B. The speaker's talk was concluded with a funny story.
Number 4. Joshua has a deficit in his brain, which is why he rarely feels happy. A noun. A compound present in the body as a neurotransmitter, and a precursor of other substances including epinephrine.
Letter A. Motivate. Letter B. Concluded. Letter C. Dopamine. Letter D. Devastating. Letter E. Transition.
The correct answer is letter C. Joshua has a dopamine deficit in his brain, which is why he rarely feels happy.
Number 5. Her mom found out the news from her teacher and it was very an adjective. Highly destructive or damaging.
Letter A. Motivate. Letter B. Concluded. Letter C. Dopamine. Letter D. Devastating. Letter E. Transition.
The correct answer is letter D. Her mom found out the news from her teacher and it was very devastating.
Speaking section.
Do you think students should eat breakfast every day?
A lot of people, especially young people, got through the day without having breakfast. Many people believe that it is not necessary, or they say that they don't have time for that, and begin their day with no meal. I believe that it is important to eat something to start one's day. Let me explain further. First, it is vital to take breakfast for health reasons. Gastritis is most often the result of infection with the same bacterium that causes most stomach ulcers. Working on an empty stomach can lead to this disease. Second, breakfast is important for better performance in school. Studies have shown that a good and healthy meal contributes greatly to faster learning and better memory. Lastly, students should eat breakfast to stay fit. Low resistance to sickness is partly caused by a poor diet. Eating 3 meals a day has been a tested practice to stay fit and strong. Students should not skip breakfast, so stay healthy, fit, and away from diseases. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. Visit us on onestepenglish.com.